Hey guys, how's it going? It's Etanius here. Welcome to episode number 32 of this NHL 22 Minnesota Wild franchise mode here in the state of hockey on my channel. If you guys have missed episodes up to this point, head up into the top corner. And if you do enjoy this one, make sure to go down below, drop a like, subscribe, and hit notifications to show your support. And apologies for not uploading a video in over a week. It has been a stressful week. I'm in the process of moving with my girlfriend, and hopefully we're going to be in a new recording location here pretty soon, but that's going to be awesome. But anyways, we are back finally. I think I had a comment on the Quebec video that I uploaded last before this one saying it's been 8 days, upload a video or make a vid. And I'm like, yes, I should. I've just haven't found the time to record, and finally we're back. So it feels good. It's good to be back, and we are into round number 3 here of the playoffs pretty soon, which is going to be awesome. Currently, our Minnesota team has gone through Colorado as well as, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it was LA. So we beat LA in a 7-game series, which was a little sketchy. But yeah, Colorado, kind of an overachieving team, to be honest. They shouldn't have done as well as they did, but they gave us a run for our money, and their defense is good. So that's kind of where the team really made it difficult on us. But today we advance. Looks like Calgary's through, Montreal's through, and either Washington or Montreal is going to be, or Washington or one of the other teams there. Washington got through. But yeah, we will be taking on Calgary, Montreal, and Minnesota, or Montreal and Washington, I cannot speak right now, are going to be going at each other in the conference finals here. Yeah, it was Washington and Pittsburgh. Okay, so that's your 4 final teams. Let's take a look at these final 4, because it is just interesting to see who the top 4 in the league kind of are. So one of those 4 teams that we will be taking on here is Calgary Flames, and Calgary has got one hell of a team on their hands here. They are a good team, don't get me wrong. I definitely think they could beat us if everything goes their way. Obviously, Nedeljkovic is out right now, which doesn't help, but they might still defy all the odds. So looking at Montreal, they got a decent defense, really good forwards, better than a team like Calgary, in my opinion, especially with Poyar and Austin Matthews. Those guys are just stacked. And then in goal, Rafalski's decent. So yeah, Rafalski's been in the Vezina conversation most years as well. He's been good. So finally, the Washington Capitals, they got Svechnikov, Gaucher. Nathan Gaucher is sweet. Caffrey, yeah, okay, they've got a legit team on their hands here too. Defensively, they're not quite as good as Montreal in my opinion, and same in goal, but we'll see what happens. We're taking on the Calgary Flames here in round 3, and let's see how we do. So, game 1 against Calgary, we lose 5-2. Ouch, that's a poor performance. All right, game number 2, let's split home ice. Okay, so we win 4-1 in game 2. Not bad. Obviously, Iowa's still in it here. They're up 3-1. I wasn't really paying attention to that, but Jermaine McGinn is a point per game in the playoffs. All right, game number 3 against Calgary, and AHL playoffs are over, so that must mean we advance. And yeah, we're taking on Rochester in the conference finals, but we beat Calgary 4-2. Jagger Foligno goes off. So, game number 4, we could go up 3-1. Montreal's up 2-1 as well, and we lose 3-2. All right. So, even series here heading into the final 3 games. Game number 5 against Calgary could potentially decide this series, and it's 2-2 apiece in the East as well. So, game number 5, we win 6-3. We can knock them out in 6, and Washington wins 3 in a row, or 2 in a row at least, to take the series lead. Matvei Michkov almost a goal per game now. So, heading into game 6 here against Calgary, let's see what we can do. Obviously, we're the better team, but obviously, we're the better team. 6-0 in the first period. My goodness, the goals just get poured on within the span of 13 minutes. 6-0. This one's as good as over. Second period, 7-1 game. Jagger, Foligno, and Tkachuk score. And third period, 7-2 final as Sonny Milano gets 1 for Calgary, but too little, far too late, as we walk away with the Western Conference title yet again. 7-2 win. My goodness. So we beat them in 6. Washington beats Montreal in 6, so we won't be seeing the Montreal Canadiens 3 seasons in a row in the Stanley Cup Finals, although that would have been absolutely hilarious. I guess it wouldn't be 3 in a row, but it would have been 3 out of the last 5 years, which is crazy. So, okay, so we take on this Washington team now, and obviously we are looking to go at another cup here. That would be fantastic, but we'll see. Washington's got a decent team on their hands, and also we should be paying a little more attention to the draft, but we'll see what happens here, as there are some really good-looking players coming up here, and players that could potentially fall. All right, so here we go. Game number 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals against the Washington Capitals. First game, Skylar Moran is back for Iowa, and we win 4-3. Ooh, looking at the the Calder Cup Finals, looks like Iowa is probably going to drop it to Rochester here, which kind of sucks. But anyways, we'll get to that one when it actually happens. Game number 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals is a 5-3 Minnesota win. Matvei Michkov, 31 points in just 20 games. He is playing amazing. And, well, let's see if Iowa can hold on for another game or if Rochester's going to take it. 3-0 start. That's good. All right. And we win 4-0. All right. Making a statement there saying, hey, we're not going down so easily. So 3-2 series there. That's good to see. Let's advance to the next one here because obviously AHL games simulate before NHL games, which, whatever. Game number 6 in this series. We're down 4-0. Second period, still 4-0, and we get knocked out in 6 games in the Calder Cup final. So that sucks, but, good performance overall from Iowa. Ruslan Kvasha leading that team with almost a point per game as a defenseman, but we head into game number 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals looking to take a stranglehold on the series, and first period 1-1, second period still 1-1, and as we head into the third here, let's see how this one plays out. Make it 2-1, Guy Bonnet, beautiful goal there. That is what we want to see. Make it 3-1 from Marco Rossi, and we are just controlling this cup final yet again. It sucks for other teams, but, Gort's coming back there, making it a 3-2 game. There's still time for Washington if they can tie this, but not looking too good here, and the Minnesota Wild will indeed take a 3-0 lead on this series, so very difficult to come back from. Obviously, Wallstedt puts up an amazing performance yet again, and we head into Game 4 in Washington looking to get a clean sweep on the Stanley Cup Finals. We have not clean swept a single Stanley Cup Finals yet. We've gone to 7-6-5 and what is hopefully about to be 4 games here. So let's see if we can take the Washington Capitals out without a fight here. And first period, 1-0 game. Jakub Abibulin, let's go. Second period, still 1-0. And I think we have got it in the bag here. Make it 2-0, Matthew Boldy. That is huge. Guy Lapierre pretty much sets it in stone that Minnesota will be getting their 4th Stanley Cup. 4-0 Brian Sexton. Man, we just ran away with it here in the third period, and Washington couldn't do anything about it. 5-0 Gaspard Lapierre. Oh, this Minnesota team is loaded, and you love to see it. So, all right, a minute left. I will jump in, and we will just watch the celebration here. But that is essentially going to do it here, as Fistrick's just going to dump this one in, and there you have it. The Minnesota Wild are 4-time Stanley Cup champions. Let's go. So, gotta love the celebration. Obviously, this Minnesota team is the best in the league at this point in this franchise mode, and a 4-0 sweep in the finals really exclaims that. So, we go to 7-6-5 and 4 games throughout the playoffs, and really, this team was just better. There's no doubt about that. So, good win. Obviously, Minnesota has been knocking on the Stanley Cup door every single year pretty much. We have been to the conference finals every year for the past 5 seasons, and obviously that round 3 knockout last year kind of was just a wake-up call as San Jose beat us in 6, but, you can't win every single year. This team still winning 3 or 4 out of 5 years is absolutely amazing, but just sit back and watch the celebration, guys. And without a doubt, Matvei Michkov going to get the Conn Smythe. He was just the best player on this team throughout the playoffs, and that will be, if I'm not mistaken, his 3rd Conn Smythe over the last 5 years. That is incredible. And of course, Kirill Kaprizov here to accept the cup this year. That's what we love to see. And really, just no doubt, he deserves it. Minnesota Wild captain here. Obviously, you know, not the same as having a guy like Marcus Foligno lift the cup, but still, Kaprizov's one of our leaders. Matthew Boldy gets another cup. You love to see it, and it's just a great sight here in Minnesota. And Jakub Bulin gets to lift the cup as well. Okay, that's cool to see. I mean, not exactly one of the star players on this team yet, but he's on his way up. And really, this team would not be the same without him for sure, but not exactly a cornerstone piece on this team yet either. So, hand it off to Wallstedt. Obviously, he is definitely a cornerstone piece in this franchise. And you love to see it. He is so deserving of it. He has been a bit of a pain in the ass, honestly, when it comes to contract negotiations and everything, but it doesn't matter because we still get to the cup at the end of the day. There you have it. The Minnesota Wild are 2031 Stanley Cup champions. So we'll wrap that one up, and we will get on to the draft in this episode because this team has just been amazing. But yeah, another cup for Minnesota, 32-point performance from Michkov. Not quite as good as we've seen in the past, but still an amazing performance from one of our star players. All right, guys, so we are going to advance the draft here, and hopefully we'll see some decent prospects pop up on the radar. I think I've kind of got most of our draft picks picked out, but we'll see how it goes with the scouting. So obviously Minnesota and Rochester win the awards there. Not really surprising as far as championship teams go. They were two of the best within their leagues. And obviously Iowa just loses out, which sucks, but that's how it goes. So for player awards this year, Minnesota wins 4 out of the last 5. We win the President's Trophy and the Clarence Campbell. And of course the Prince of Wales goes to Washington. This year, Point wins the Art Ross. Michkov wins the Hart. Magnus Oduya knocks out Gabrick and Theodore for the Norris this year. Braden Point gets the Lady Byng. Strome for Boston gets the Calder this year. Michkov with the Conn Smythe. Rafalski wins yet another Vezina. Wallstedt and Bjorklund win the Jennings this year. Chaika wins the Masterton. Michelli for Chicago wins the Jack Adams. Hischier wins the Selke yet again. Michkov wins the Lindsay. And Mures wins back-to-back Rockets this year. Alright guys, so as we head to the draft here a little bit further, Nashville's going to win the #1 pick, beating out Seattle and a few other teams. We might try to trade down or trade up into the top 10 depending on how picks go, how players fall, things like that. We'll keep an eye on that, as the top end of the draft is looking pretty decent. This Dansk guy is going to throw off, very likely, I would say Seattle out of everybody, but we'll see what happens here. This could be an interesting draft just based on the prospects available on the board and what's going to happen with them. Obviously, we're pretty much shoot in for a guy like Dustin Leddy. We might have to trade up a little bit to pick him, but there are other low elite kind of players in here like Francis DeSantis and Emmanuel Sharma, who I would like to pick up, and we will very likely make trades for those guys. And apart from that, it's kind of hard to tell who else we're actually going to go for. Alright guys, so looking at retired players this year, and we're going to see Panarin, Gaudreau, and a handful of amazing players here, such as Zibanejad, Teravainen, all call it quits. So a really good group of players here this year. Nothing too crazy, like no McDavid's or anybody like that, but he's still a few years down the road for sure. Goalies, Merzlikins, Bennington, Saros, that's pretty much it. Was Stolarz? No, he's a Philadelphia goalie. I was thinking somebody else, but looking at coach retirement this year, we aren't going to see, I don't think, any of our coaches retire. If you guys can hear the vibration in the background, that would be paving outside on my street, so that kind of sucks, but that's just, that happens sometimes. So we're going to get some draft interviews done here. Alright guys, so looking at the block this year, after our draft interviews, I don't think we're trading Bjorklund, but a guy like Zilkin could be up for trade potentially. Apart from that, maybe a guy like Kirill Kaprizov, just based on, you know, his career points and everything. Obviously, a guy like Boldy has just outshone him in just about every facet of being a Minnesota Wild player, which, you know, kind of sucks because Kaprizov has been one of our leaders, but we just have younger guys coming up the system that are going to be requiring more play time, and it's hard to deal with that when you don't have enough roster space and kind of starter positions. So apart from that, a guy like LeCavalier or Rankel could be on the way out too. We have lots of defensemen coming up the system here over the next season or so, and there's definitely the likelihood that we replace quite a few players. So with that in mind, we're going to try to make some trades here, I think. We'll see what we can do to potentially acquire additional players here over the next couple of seasons, but we're going to have to move guys too. Like there's just like no chance that we can actually manage this team with all the contracts we currently have. So with that in mind, let's get to this draft. It's going to be an interesting one for sure, and we'll see what we can do here. So let's get started. Looking at the top end of the draft, doesn't look like teams really want to trade picks. Again, we'll keep an eye on that Arizona pick, and apart from that, you know, we are picking at pick 32 considering we just won the Cup, but a team like Pittsburgh or Tampa Bay both have picks there. Looks like Arizona is quite willing to trade their second rounder as well. Okay, so that could be a move. And apart from that, we'll see what else happens here in this draft. So, alrighty. Which pick is that? 41. Okay, that could work. So let's get to this. Let's watch the first couple of picks here. So Bylsma goes to Nashville, not surprising. Dansk, again, I told you that Dansk pick was going to throw them off. And Scarabelli goes fourth. Okay, I think it was supposed to be Campoli, so we'll keep an eye on that. Nope, Campoli does go fifth to Detroit. All right, and sixth up, McLean. All right, that's exactly how I expected that to go. I don't see too many of these other picks really turning out here right off the bat, so that'll be interesting. Was this guy? No, Kabinov was not elite. Okay, so we don't necessarily need that 9th overall pick from Arizona, but we could look into some other teams here to try and acquire other picks. So, all right, so we are going to make a couple trades here. They're going to be interesting trades for sure, but we're going to have to be able to pull these off to actually land the players we want. So Pittsburgh wants to trade their pick number 28, which is fine by me. I'm going to try to pick it up. And apart from that, the player we're going to have to likely move in this deal is going to have to be probably Kirill Kaprizov at a $9.5 million deal. We can't make it easy, but we could potentially move a guy like Jermaine McGinn or Xander Andrews, or Hannu Kurvinen might actually be the player we want to move here. So Kurvinen to Pittsburgh, 1-for-1 kind of deal. Maybe we land a third rounder out of this next year. That would be decent. So let's see if this one goes through. And that it does. Beautiful. All right, so that's the first deal we're going to make here. After that, we're going to look into the second round a bit more. And I am mainly looking at a team that's got multiple picks in this round. So Montreal, Tampa, Colorado. Nashville potentially, but they don't necessarily want to trade some of these picks. So I think Nashville would work. Let's see who else actually has picks available here. Okay, so Shore goes next there. We're going to try to pull off a deal here with the Predators, who are probably more so in rebuild mode if they've got this many seconds. But if we could get like pick number 39 and 52 off of them, that would be fantastic. And I want to see what they want in exchange. Obviously, they would take most of our picks. I'm going to try to trade these 2 third-rounders because I don't see us using them necessarily. So We'll go with those. All right, so if we send those 2 picks along with, they want goalie prospects. So I could see us potentially sending a guy like Andrews or Paris over. You know, this could actually work. If we trade off some prospects in exchange for what would hopefully be a future first, that could go through. I doubt it does, but you never know. All right, so let's see if this deal goes through. I doubt it does. Yeah, we'll probably have to give up a first rounder in exchange, but I would rather send off Nashville's first rounder or be using Nashville's first rounder over ours just because it's gonna land higher. Like, there's no doubt in my mind about that. All right, so let's see if that goes through then. It still doesn't. Interesting. Okay, so instead of Paris, let's go with who's a big contract here. All right, so Strachan goes next. I'm going to have to retry this trade. Maybe we don't do the first and just go like Paris in exchange. Obviously, it's not as ideal, but I think we could still pull it off. And yeah, actually, they have salary cap available. We don't have to do that. So if we try for those 4 picks, I think we could send a guy like Kaprizov off to them. I know he's still got 4 years left and he's still decently valued, but we have to allocate this $9 million to other players. And along with that, we could potentially move guys like Fistrick or other players along those lines too, as well as I still want to get rid of a couple picks. Okay, so if we go Fistrick and Kaprizov, that doesn't work. But if we drop Fistrick and we go with a guy like Paris, still probably not quite highly valued enough, so maybe we go Andrews and Paris and Kaprizov. It's a big deal. Okay, does that go through? I know it's 3 second rounders, but it does indeed. Alrighty, that works for me. Alright, so that was a big deal, but we will take it. We've got some early picks here, which is exactly what we wanted. So I'm going to sim over to pick 28 now. Just looking at our picks, we have a lot more picks to deal with. And we have $10 million roughly in contract money, which is good. Looking at our top players, obviously Oduya, Lapierre, maybe Lecavalier. Lots of guys expiring here. So yeah, it's going to be a little tricky to really manage deals well here, but at this point, we're in a good spot. Obviously, I probably should have traded up for a guy like McLean for the future, but that's okay. I think we'll be fine there, and yeah, there's not a crazy amount of players in this draft that are exactly what we're looking for. So let's get to our picks here. I think I've got them all laid out, and this should be an interesting draft. All right, so over to pick 28, and we are going to roll in with that first pick I wanted in Dustin Leddy. Guaranteed low elite, 2-year ETA, quick pick, plays like Patrick Kane supposedly. And he's 67 rated, so a really good first rounder there. He can't skate, but hopefully that doesn't affect his game too much. His defense is amazing. And he puts up decent points, and playing for Portland, he should be able to get better over the next couple of years. And for pick 32, I believe we're going to go with DeSantis, I believe, is our next pick. You know what? Samsonov could also be a really good left winger. And we've got, after 32, where's our next pick? Let's see. I would assume after 32, it's 39. So that's pushing it close with DeSantis. I don't want to lose him. Just based on the fact that he's going right at pick 40 likely. So yeah, I'd rather take Francis DeSantis here with this pick. And we'll hopefully find a different steal here. But yeah, I'm going to go with DeSantis here as our last first rounder. 28 and 32. Both good picks for where they're at. And okay, 62 rated, but good X factors. Looks like a decent playmaker and should be able to develop over the next few years. Apart from that, I don't think Samsonov actually got picked. Sweet. Okay, so we will get to take him. Yep. Beautiful. Dmitry Samsonov looks like a good player, and he is going to be, I believe, our next pick. Because if we're picking at 39 here, Sharma's at 43. That's cutting it too close again, and I know... Oh, okay. I'm going to take the risk here. We're going to take Dmitry Samsonov with this next pick. I think it's better. Oh, I don't know if it's better or not. I'm taking risks here. So we're taking risks of losing players, which kind of sucks, but I think it's the right move here still. So let's do this. All right, so Samsonov from Estonia, I believe, is 66 rated, and he's got some decent X factors. So he could definitely make our team eventually, and he's the second highest rated player we've taken. So at pick 44, we aren't going to lose Sharma. Let's go. So he's got to be, yeah, the next pick on the board. That's cutting it close, but we'll take Emmanuel Sharma with pick 44. He's 62 rated as well. Very similar X factors and setup to a guy like DeSantis, but I am not complaining. We get all the players we want here. And over to pick 52, I believe the goalie that I want is still on the board. Decent defensemen and other top 6 forwards here, so we probably wouldn't have missed too bad if we didn't land one or two of those guys. But next up, I'm going with Matty Peltola, third goalie down on the board, but I'm going to take him. He looks like an elite goalie, and that he is. 59 rated. That's a good goalie. Hopefully he can develop properly. Hybrid was a starter. Apart from that, who else? Yeah, Carpenter was a starter. We got the elite goalie. Let's go. Okay, so that's really decent. I'm happy with those picks. And next up, who are we taking here? I don't know if we're... I don't know how good Little is, but he looks pretty decent with those X factors and everything else on. Yeah, not a lot of great scouting in here. Usually my scouts do a little bit better than that, but let's go. I think I should, yeah, go with Braxton Little here, even though he's not little at all. I don't even have him put in on my chart, tracker thing here on my computer, but let's see how good he turns out to be. He's 6'3", 207, which is actually a really decent size for an 18-year-old. And yeah, he could be something. So let's take a swing at Braxton Little. He's a low top 6. I was kind of hoping he'd be elite. 62 rated 2-way forward and no X factors. Ouch. That was a bit of a miss there. I will not lie on that one. That could have gone better, but let's go over to pick 127 now. And at pick 127, we're going to see which other players get drafted here that are actually decent. Terrible 4th round. 3rd round, Teravainen would have been better. So that was a miss. Shea would have been better. That was also a miss. Oh, and Dawson Antonio as well. Okay, so there was lots of decent players in here, but just a swing and a miss on that late 3rd rounder. Was it a 3rd rounder? Might have been a second. Yeah, it was a 2nd rounder. Late 2nd rounder. But we land a lot of decent prospects still in this draft. And up next, at pick 127, I think we're going way off the board here, but this Pagadwan guy actually looked decent too, so I might pick him. Despite it saying medium 9, I think he's actually a medium 6, but I'm probably wrong on that. And apart from that, we might take that Skinner guy. There's a couple guys in here that I'm interested in that I still got pinned. Like you can see, there's quite a few guys. I'm pretty sure... How do you say it? Vukula? Kimo Vukula looks decent. I think he's going to be a low elite out of any of these guys, but we'll see. And do I take Pagadwan, Skinner? I don't know. I think I want to take Pagadwan because he might have X factors. We've taken a lot of wingers too, so I think with our next pick, I'm going to go with Ray Skinner here at 127. I think that's our best option, but yeah, we'll see how he turns out. I think he's probably going to be a miss as well, but you never know until you actually pick and land them or don't land them, and then, you know, regret it after. So just putting in his stats, he's a Norwegian player. All right, Ray Skinner way off the board for 127. He's a medium or a low bottom 6 sniper. That's terrible. .58 rated. Yeah, I'm gonna regret that one. So over to pick 160. I'm sure just because I didn't pick him that Pegadwan guy. Yeah, go figure. Medium 6. Isn't that how it always goes? Like you think you got a player lined up and you're like, yes, this guy's good, and then you second guess yourself, and yeah, that's just how it goes. So all right, I'm picking solely off of pinned players here at this point now. So next up, we're at pick 160. I'm taking Fiala, just because I don't care if he's off the board. He is a low elite, which is perfect because really I'm not seeing a ton of potential in this draft. 55 overall for a 5th rounder. Is he 19? I believe he's 19. Yeah, Kimo Fiala is 19, but he looks good. And over to pick 192 now. Again, we're picking off the board, but it's okay. Dear Lord, this is a weak end of the draft here, from round 5 on kind of thing. So next up, who do I trust more? Goalie that hasn't played no games or a goalie that hasn't played any games? I'm going to take Sean Ramsey because he's a little bit bigger and he could have X factors, so that's why I'm taking him over Ponikarovsky. He is a medium elite. Beautiful. How good is he is the real question. 47 rated, but that's okay. A 6th round medium elite goalie is not bad. And you know what? I think we don't have our last pick here. Seattle owns it. I think we're just going to stick with that. We won't really worry about pick number 224. I'll just sim through quick, kind of show you guys how each of the 7th rounders turn out. I'm sure there's going to be some decent ones in here just because, you know, there wasn't really in the last 3 rounds. Lalancet, however you say his name, wasn't very good, but looking pretty weak here in round 7 so far. Wow, this is kind of pathetic. Oh, I hit some entire draft. Oh, okay, well, Seattle got a starter, but we didn't get to see the rest of it, but that's okay because that's where we're going to be wrapping this one up. We're going to hit the free agent window in the next video. It's going to be a good one, and you guys make sure to subscribe for that. So anyways, that's where we're wrapping this one up. If you guys enjoyed, go down below, drop a like, leave comments, interact with me. I want to hear what you guys have to say. But that is it for this one. This is Etanios signing out, and until next time.